Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Tiny Stockings 2 Poinsettias. I know! Isn't that the best title ever? I'm so good at this.
So you were gonna do 4. So I was right in the future.
Haven't done them yet.
It
Won't
means
focus.
I was just temporally incorrect.
You're so handsome.
Feel.
You were wrong. I hadn't done 4 at the time when you said that. Which, our time was like a minute ago.
And their time will have been
minimum of a day.
I see.
I'm gonna go
So we're
stitch
not
it.
doing one a week still?
No.
Far into next year and
No.
the year after?
No.
2021, the year of 2020.
No.
Cross stitches for Christmas.
I have already started doing like multiple videos a week.
I see.
This just shows how much he cares about my YouTube channel, you guys. He has no passion for my passions.
I'm gonna respond to every video.
It'll give me more views, which will give me more money. So
Not sure if it works quite like
yeah, if you have ad block, it won't. But it's okay. I also have ad block. But I do watch my iPad sometimes, and that I don't have ad block on that. So. Okay. The handsome man is dying. I'm gonna go finish 2 more poinsettias so that I'm at 4. Okay. The next question. Sorry, I keep jumping around between the questions and when David is here. It just depends on when David is here. So, 80. How do you feel about sharing your password with your partner? I think it just depends. I've shared my password for like Grubhub because we both use it. I've shared my password with my Amazon Prime because again we both use it. Hulu, we both use it. Yeah, like it's all of the ones that I'm comfortable with him using. Like I have not given him any of my information for my banking accounts because that's none of his business, and his are none of my business. So, like once we get married, I don't know, this is actually not something we've discussed. We haven't talked about having like a joint savings account. So, I don't know what we would want to do. And I don't want to make any assumptions. Like I don't want to pressure him into sharing something he's not comfortable with, or the opposite, I don't want him pressuring me into sharing something I'm not comfortable with. So, I think it's all about how both parties feel. Like, if you're comfortable sharing that with your loved one, go right ahead. If you're not, you shouldn't have to. Let's see. This would depend on the kind of information that's available behind the passwords and how balanced the partner is and the level of trust the 2 individuals feel safe cultivating for each other. So, I mean, I totally believe if I gave David my login for my banking information that he wouldn't, use it or steal it or anything. I don't think he would. But I don't understand why I would add another security risk to my account. Having one more person who knows the login information, that's one more opportunity that someone has to, like, access my information. So, it has nothing to do with the trust between the 2 of us. I want to save my money when I can save my money. 81. Do you judge a book by its cover? I do. I do. Like, sorry, if you say you don't, you're kind of a liar. Everyone does. Everyone does base some of how they feel about someone on their first impression. I think the important part is, can you look past that? Like, if someone has a really, really bad, it's the worst first impression on you, and then you learn later that, like, their mom died that morning. So, of course, they were treating you like trash. They were treating everyone like that because they were depressed. Can you look past that? Absolutely. Like, I'm not going to blame someone for how they treat others on the worst day of their life. I will say, I hope that, you try and not do that. Try and not take your anger out on others. But obviously that's not always possible, and that can be really difficult to do, and some people are much better at holding on to their emotions than others. And it's not fair to say, like, oh, well, so and so lost their mom a week ago and they weren't yelling at us, but you just lost your mom and you're yelling at us. Why can't you be more like her? Like, I don't think that's fair at all. Everyone reacts differently. And yeah, some people just have a better hold on their emotions and their reactions than others. And I can't fault someone for that. That's horrible, in my opinion. But yeah, I've had people make bad first impressions on me, and then I learn later, like, oh yeah, they're just really shy, or they get really nervous around other people. They're really socially awkward when you don't know them. But once you get to know them, they're going to be your best friend for life, And I think that means so much more than a first impression. So, yeah. I guarantee you I've made plenty of bad first impressions on people, and I hope that they've seen past that for me and gotten to know me for other things. I've talked about her before, the girl in middle school when I was in Spain who just hated my guts until we went to Hinterbrand together, and she realized that I was not the person she thought she was, and we became really good friends, and I have her on Facebook now. So, I've also been guilty of having a bad first impression on someone. Let's see, what does this say? Don't we all? And don't we feel better to know exactly how others do? I don't feel better knowing that other people judge someone or judge a book by its cover. I feel better knowing that there are people who are mature enough to realize there is more than just your first interaction with someone. That's what makes me feel better personally, because knowing that someone just walks around judging everybody based on how they look and their first impression, that's, I don't know, like I think generally my first impression would be pretty positive toward, or like not necessarily positive, accurate as to who I am. I dress very comfortably. I'm pretty chill. I don't freak out over things. I don't take forever to get ready for anything. And I almost always have a smile on my face. I'm generally really happy. I'm smiley. So generally, I think my first impression would be accurate. I don't know though. Obviously, I've never, met myself. I have not introduced myself to myself. That would be weird. Alright, we're going to move on. That was weird. I'm sorry. 82. If a genie granted you 3 wishes right now, what would you wish for? Oh, man. So, I think a big question that comes with this is, what is the scope? Like, am I able to cure world hunger, cancer, and what else? War, I guess. Like, if I could wish for those big 3 things, totally. You know how much better the world would be if no one was starving? If no one was dying from cancer? And if we weren't, worried with the threat of war? But another stipulation with that, if I make that wish and it comes true, will something worse come around later? So, like, if I wish that cancer is gone, will there be something that's even worse? Like, cancer 2.0 that will replace it? Because if so, I'm not going to make that wish. I don't want to make it worse than it already is. If I wish to stop world hunger, the next thing is, like world thirst, and everybody's dying of thirst, which is worse because you can go, 2 weeks without food, but you can only go 3 days without water? So obviously that would be worse. I'm assuming they're probably lumped together for the most part. A lot of the places that don't have food also don't have clean water, so obviously that's going to be an issue, but I'm trying to get my point across that, like, if I make this wish, that would, in my opinion, be better for the world, will it lead to worse consequences later? If so, those are out. And then I'm just gonna make selfish wishes. Like, I want everyone in my family, all of my loved ones, to be well off when it comes to money. I want them to be comfortable and be able to take care of themselves and not have to worry financially. But again, like, is the stipulation with that, like, other people suddenly go from, like, first, I don't know what the word is, first class? Up at the top, and then they become homeless? Obviously, my family isn't homeless, but, like, is it gonna worsen someone else's situation? Because that's not fair. But if it just, magically makes money appear in our accounts and the IRS has no issues or anything with it, then we're cool. We're good. um, all of the cross stitch supplies I could ever ask for, obviously. And a free supply of puzzles for the rest of David's life. He would be so excited to just get as many puzzles as he wants whenever. And I want no stipulation on puzzles. If he wants to get a Lego puzzle, that counts. If he wants to get a puzzle that's, like that, the rope on a piece of wood that you have to solve and move it around, figure it out or whatever, he can have that. If he wants to buy me a jigsaw puzzle for free, he can do that. I don't know why I said buy something for free, but you get what I mean. So this also has the added benefit of potentially benefiting me later on. So still selfish. Okay, let's see. So the thing underneath says, wildest dreams or practicalities. Selfish wishes or manifestations of the world and ending suffering. This shows how far outside of their own survival your candidate is willing to consider. Don't ask a candidate these questions. I know this says that these are interview questions. Do not ask someone these questions in an interview. Especially something like this. Because that's the kind of thing that, like, if their family gets mentioned, if they mention that they have 3 kids, or that they're married, or, that they're gay, you're going to have some problems on your hand if you don't hire them. Like, those are things that you're not allowed to ask about in an interview. So just, that is a really bad idea. Don't tread there. 83. What's something that people think makes them look cool but actually has the opposite effect? I think guys who wear their pants past their butt, like, I think that is so disgusting. I don't think it makes them look cool. I think it makes them look gross. I remember guys in my PE classes, they wouldn't wear belts, and they'd run around, like, holding their pants up, looking like a friggin' idiot. Like, they're trying to do a hoedown running the mile. Like, it looks horrific. And I have never found it attractive. And honestly, like, I bought David a really nice belt recently, and he's been wearing it, and, like, his butt looks amazing. So, it is the exact opposite. If you wear a belt, it makes you look so much better, versus if you don't and your pants are hanging off of you, it looks so stupid. And I know I am not the only person who feels that way. I would say the majority of girls that I've met feel the same way. I have met a couple who are like, it doesn't bother me. But I have never met a girl who's like, oh my god, I love it. I could never date a guy who wears a belt. Like, never. Never. Granted, that could just be that I don't hang around with the circles of people that care about looking cool, but yeah, no. What else do I think people do that makes them look cool? The people who get, like, bright white shoes that cost, like, hundreds of dollars, especially if you work in, like, retail or like, somewhere else where there's a lot of foot traffic. Because I've seen people flip out when they get their shoes stepped on. And it's not because they're in pain. It's not because it hurt. It's because, oh, you messed up their shoes. They're on your feet, bro. You know. And, like, I don't necessarily think someone with shoes like that look uncool so much as it is they act uncool. That's just my opinion, though. Like, it's always bothered me when people put themselves up on a pedestal like that, or, put their shoes up on a pedestal like that. It just seems, what's the point? you know that you're going to trip over something or you're going to bump into something and you're going to mess up your own shoes. So, why get bright white shoes? I mean, like, I've seen this issue with other colors than just a bright white, but white shoes were, like, the most popular when it came to people who freaked out over, you stepped on my shoe. So stupid. Okay. 84. How does someone politely end a conversation with a person who won't stop talking? Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to go and get this done. Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I straight up, so when I was a manager at Michael's and at Ross, actually, I told people, I was like, if you literally cannot get away from a customer, and you need to, or, you want to at the very least, literally go over the radio and just be like, oh yeah, Liz, I can be right there. Where are you? And I'm not going to be like, huh, what are you talking about? I'm going to be like, yep, I'm over by the shampoo. I'm in aisle 2. And then you can come over to me and just be like, hey, Liz, this person won't stop talking to me. And I'll be like, oh, okay, help me with this for a little while. And then go back to this aisle and finish this project. Like, and I have had people do that before, where they came and found me and they were like, yeah, this person won't leave me alone. What do I do? And in my experience, those customers that were talking never followed the person. But if they had, I literally would have been like, yeah, hey, we have to go do something in the warehouse. Come with me. And just straight up walk away from the customer to an area where they cannot follow. That's what I would have done had it come to that. It never did. But yeah, I remember there were so many times when customers would just not leave me alone when I was a sales associate. And I wanted to just be, go over the radio and ask for a manager and be like, oh yeah, where do you need me? But they never told me that I could. And so I didn't think that it was okay. And obviously you can't go over the radio and just be like, hi Liz, this customer won't leave me alone. Where are you? Like the customer will hear you saying that and you're going to get a complaint filed against you and it's not going to be good. So yeah. As a manager, I think, especially in retail, it is very important that you tell your associates, if this customer won't stop talking to you, and they're not asking you work-related questions. They're not asking you, oh, what paint works best with this notebook, or what color works best with this. They're just telling you about their day. They're telling you about this project that their kid worked on and all this, and it's completely irrelevant to your job. If it goes on for long enough, just no. Tell them your manager's asking for you over the radio and you have to go. You're really sorry. And then just go. Like, most people, in my experience, they'll be like, oh, your manager's asking for you. Yeah, go. I don't want you to get in trouble. Because generally, the kind of person who's just going to sit and talk your ear off tends to be nice. And they don't want you to get in trouble with your manager. So they will tell you, oh, yeah, go. Maybe they'll try and find you later and talk to you. And if that happens, then you can just be like, yeah, my manager told me I have to get this project done within a certain amount of time. Are you comfortable if I keep working while you talk? And then you just keep working while they talk, and you're good to go. Like, they'll be happy because they'll get to talk. And you'll be okay because you'll get to finish your job. Boom, boom, bam, yeah. Just advice for anybody, especially if you're working retail. Moving along, 85. What wastes the most time in your day-to-day life? So I'm ignoring work. I don't think work counts. So just in my day-to-day life, I waste the most time going to the bathroom. I have a tiny bladder, so I have to go to the bathroom a lot. But I'm assuming, regular normal body functions don't count towards this. So, probably checking my phone when I don't have any notifications or anything. Like I don't have any indication that I need to be checking my phone, but I do check it because I'm bored and I have nothing else to do. So, yeah. Oh, the handsome man is home.
Yes, dear.
I have 10 minutes left on my narration. Would you like to join?
Sure, dear.
So, what wastes the most time in your day-to-day life, handsome man?
Work.
Yeah, no, see, I ruled out work, and I ruled out bodily functions. So, I said the bathroom, obviously, and then I was like, you know what, that shouldn't count. So I decided on just randomly checking my phone.
The bathroom at work.
No, does not count.
What was the question then?
What wastes the most time in your day-to-day life?
Traffic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, although I don't drive a lot right now, you guys. I literally last week I hit 2,000 miles on my car. Like, I'm never driving anymore. I love working from home. I save gas, I save time, I save everything. But yeah, prior to COVID, definitely traffic. Oh my goodness. 86. Why do we call them free gifts? Aren't all gifts free? I actually disagree. I think some gifts come with the implication that you're going to gift the other person something on their birthday.
Sure.
No?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but not always.
Not always, no, but I feel like sometimes there's still that expectation, like, oh, I gave you this birthday present. My birthday's next month, and I invite you to my birthday. You should get me something. I feel like there's an expectation there. It's a free gift, but there's an expectation. Someone has mail.
Yes, someone's checking mail. No, I agree with your assessment. It doesn't sound all that
ridiculous.
No, I mean, like, it kind of feels like they're just sort of reaching for, like, a question, though. Like, yeah, I don't care either way.
Yeah. 87. If a criminal turns himself in, shouldn't he get the reward money? No. That's stupid. He committed a crime. He shouldn't get praised for it.
Speaking of reaching.
Are you kidding me? Like, is this a joke? This is a gauge for compassion. Many criminals aren't inherently bad. Wouldn't everyone who can't get employment fast enough or due to discrimination be driven to steal in order to provide for their child whom they love?
Yeah,
oh no, screw this question.
I mean, that's a question of punishment, not reward, though. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't throw the book at the person who's stealing to eat. You don't have them steal to eat so they can collect reward money for stealing to eat either. Like,
no.
And they don't usually give rewards for things like that. It's usually kidnappers, murderers.
Yeah, like someone who has a bounty on them.
Yeah, I mean, bail bonds is a separate thing. Jumping bail is a separate thing. But, like, if there's an actual reward, like, it's the guy who planted bombs at the freaking Capitol, you know, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna feel too bad for the guy who maybe almost blew people up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this is a terrible question. But piggybacking off of what David was talking about, I worked at Michael's, where there's nothing essential for life there. And I worked at Ross, where there, again, not really anything essential for life there. I hated thieves in those places. Because it's like, yes, steal all of our crayons. Because you really need that to survive. No, you don't. No. Yes, steal that swimsuit from us. You definitely need that to survive. No, wait, no, you don't. I don't support someone stealing food, but I understand why they're stealing it. Like, if you can't get food, you're gonna die. So I understand stealing it. If you can't get water, you're gonna die. So I understand stealing it. Diapers for your child. You know, things like that. Things that are required. I understand when you steal. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. But if you're going out and you're stealing art supplies, screw you. Like, honestly, learn to save some money and buy it yourself. You know, go to a secondhand store. I'm sure they have stuff like that you can go through and get a fun hobby from. And you don't have to steal. Like, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. David has grapes. I really want some grapes now. This is not fair.
Would you like a grape?
No, because I can't talk with my mouth full.
You gotta work on that, dear.
88. Why does a round pizza come in a square box? Okay, so a pizza is easiest to be made into a circle because of the rolling pin and how you roll it out. And boxes are easiest to be made into squares because they're boxes. So it's just a matter of easiness. I'll have a grape now, and you can answer the question.
I mean, it's a bad question. It's, yes, like, why aren't tires in hexagons? Well, because this is the best shape for that thing.
Yep.
Like,
so the thing underneath says, if you've seen the octagonal shaped boxes that some pizzas come in, you'll notice they're more complicated to construct than a square box.
wow.
Yes, they are. It's also going to require more cardboard, I think. Because you have to do all of the extra corners.
I think.
And then the overlap, right?
No, I think you could, with the space saved on the corners, that might actually. There's probably some interesting math on that. Come to think of it, you'd have to make an octagonal box that was really good, tightly fitting the pizza, though.
To make it worth it.
I think they usually have a decent amount of space on the side.
It depends on the place.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really does for you is, it takes up less space in the fridge.
But I mean, most things I put in the fridge are square shaped anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it doesn't really...
I can put a jar at the corners of my pizza box, but then I can't get the pizza box out, or I can't get the jars at the back out. Yeah. It doesn't work. No. That was a really stupid question. So, yeah. 89. Do they bury people with their braces on? I don't know.
Probably not.
Right? Because it's metal, so it wouldn't, like... I don't know. We're at the end. So, I don't think so. You want people to look their best, and no one looks their best with braces. I say this as someone who had braces. And that is the end of Tiny Stockings 2 Poinsettias. I got 3 hours and 49 minutes of footage, so it was one of the longer ones. A big part of that was all of the outlining! Oh my gosh! So much outlining. Really pretty flowers, though. Okay, I don't have anything else to add, so like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys next video.